Hey everyone, AMA number 5. Wow, is that right? Already AMA number 5. That's pretty cool. Definitely has been a lot of fun doing this and getting good feedback from all of you. So happy Friday, everyone. Hope you had a good week. Um, we're coming live from Brooklyn. It's 12 p.m. and I'm sorry about the time um, craziness here. I didn't take into consideration the new the DST time zone stuff, and so it's kind of it's a bit complicated because now people that are on GMT time zone now have to be um, you know they have to watch this 1 hour earlier. So sorry about that. Maybe 4 p.m. GMT is a better time for you. Who knows? Um, so welcome everybody. So let's see here. Um, Wanted to do a little bit of making this a more like relaxed conversation. Maybe answer questions. Maybe talk about things that I'm finding interesting. Um, and one thing that I'm pretty excited about was the Fratellis. They have a new album out. I don't know if you guys have heard the Fratellis, but I was actually a little bit obsessed with them a few years back, and it's really kind of like retro, kind of like rock and roll. It's a British band, so but it's really good. So highly recommend the Fratelli. So if you have Spotify, make sure to check out that album. I was listening to it this morning. Woke up at 7 to write. That's the I didn't write that on my notes here, but I actually finished the introduction to Python book. So it's as you know, I'm refactoring the courses. So one thing that I wanted to take out from the Flask course was the introduction to Python, because I might teach, and actually I'm planning to teach Django as well soon. So um, I wanted to take that Python component out and make sure that um, that you guys can take the course independent from if you're taking the Flask course or the Python course. Um, so I'm pretty excited because I finished the book today. It's 100 pages, and that's going to be the basis for the course. So that course is coming. It's going to be again a standalone course called Essential Python for Web Development, and that is a segue to what I wanted to show you a little bit um, of the what we call the Zero Tribe. It's not going to be the final name, but my brother and I are um, have been kind of like, that's the internal code name, and that's the platform, the new platform that I'm building. So wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. So this is for the Flask course. Of course, that's not going to be um, the one we launched first, but here we have kind of like a little bit of the description. I have a video, of course, that's not the real snapshot, but I have the video running there, and we're using a HTML5 video player, but adding some other stuff to it, and that's coming along pretty well. And it has kind of like all the visual stuff that you would expect from a course. I'm actually this is gonna be kind of like a more like a boot camp, so you can see you can buy the course individually, the courses that I have right now in Udemy, but they're gonna be like rewritten. But it's gonna be the introduction to Flask, the advanced Flask, and then the RESTful API, and sell that as a package. So I'm pretty excited about this. We're pretty close to launching this, so hopefully you guys can join when it's up, and I'll let you guys know when I launch the first one, which I think it's going to be the Git course and this Python course shortly after. But I'm going to have the Introduction to Python book available before. So so definitely take a, be on the lookout for that. Cool. So let's see here. That's all I had in terms of kind of like news and updates. So if you remember, we were doing this this application called RefTrack last week, and I ran into a bit of a problem here. So let me stop the Zero Tribe site and close this. So funny thing, I'm using this this code base. I call them I forgot the name, not Bootstrap, the boilerplate. That's the name I was looking for. So I'm using this boilerplate that that allows you to have a MySQL Flask application up and running really quickly. So if you go to from 0 edu and go to the Flask MySQL boilerplate, there's you can just fork this and you have kind of like the more or less all the setup ready to go, and that's what we were using for this this application that we're building called RefTrack. So with RefTrack, I ran into kind of like a bit of a snafu because I didn't remember that I had the instructions in here. Like I wrote them myself, so that's a good reason for you to comment your code, because a week later you don't remember what you wrote. But in here I have when you create the user, you're supposed to use like the % and not localhost like I did on the video or on the AMA last week. So that caused me a bit of a problem there. So it was giving me, when I was trying to do the migration, it was giving me this error. We already VNB there, so if I do Python manage py db migrate, I was getting this error that said that oh, it ran now. That's because, yeah, I think I added it afterwards, but it didn't. It wasn't reading it. The user with instead of localhost, I put %. So now it worked, and I think it was because I added that. But last week I tried to get that up and running, and it didn't work. So now we have the migration here. Let's see. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's the new migration. Perfect. So, okay. If I go and I wanted to check if I could read the user. So let me see how we do with MySQL list users. Select user from MySQL user. I forget this MySQL command sometimes. So it's select user from MySQL user. But I guess I want to see all the details. So if I do, I guess, star, yeah, that's a lot of information there. But I wanted to show you guys RefTrack user is twice in there. So the first one was the one that had the local host. I'm thinking it's this one here. But in anyways, if you run into this, the problem was that if you use localhost, don't use localhost, because that's going to be problematic, just use the percentage sign like it says here on the README right here. So okay, so we're good to start or continue the application. So we had two databases. We had a redirect log, which was going to be we would log all the redirection requests, and then we would have a redirect table which would have the actual ID, URL, description of the URL of redirects that we want to be able to do. But I should have a code in here. So redirect log, I have the code in here, but I don't have it in here, and I should have that, because the idea was that if we do something like, say, whatever we pick for the redirect URL, but let's say it's from 0 or r dot from 0. I think that's what I was thinking. So r from 0, and then a code, like for example Python book. That code is the Python book is the code, and then if you click there, it would go to r from 0, read from the table what Python book's code was, and then send it over to the actual or final URL. So that's what we're trying to do here. So let's see. So we need a code for sure. So we're gonna add that in here. And what else? Refer. We don't need refer. We don't need a timestamp. That's kind of like the table. So this is the table. Redirect is the table that's gonna hold all the URLs that we can send people to, and then redirect log is going to actually store those requests, so that we can then afterwards see how many people clicked on a specific code and do kind of like graphs around that. Cool. So we need to do another migration. Well, first of all, I need to do the upgrade, because our database doesn't have that those fields. So db upgrade. Perfect. So that created the tables, and now we need to do another migration, which is adding this code string in here. So let's see. So let's do another migrate. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna downgrade, delete the file and upgrade again, because I should have had that from the beginning. So let's do a downgrade. And you can do this, by the way, like there's no reason why you shouldn't do a downgrade and then delete that file that you have, so that it doesn't go into your repository. And then we'll do another migrate. And let's check the file here. So now it has the ID, IP refer code timestamp, and ID code URL. Perfect. So now it's there. So now let's do an upgrade. And we're good to go. Cool. All right, so now we have that. So we should create some entries for it. And I know that I've always been preaching to not use client side kind of like tools, but for something like once you know how MySQL works, I guess if you want to do like a quick and dirty like scaffolding, Scaffolding meaning like loading, data or information um, in the database. Then you can definitely use something. And I use this tool called SQL Pro. So I'm gonna put a link. This is for Mac. For Windows, I don't use Windows, but for Windows, my brother and I were kind of like looking at which one would be a good one to use, and we decided Heidi SQL is the other one that I think is the one that we saw was more usable. So let's say SQL Pro for Mac. So that's the tool. And then Heidi SQL. I'm copying and pasting the URLs on the video description so you guys can take a look. Heidi MySQL. I think it was Heidi. Oh, Heidi SQL. That's it. Yeah, that's the one. So if you're gonna do, like I said, quick and dirty, like insertion of records and things like that, then you definitely can use that. Oh, I have a problem here, which I'm not gonna be able to broadcast the SQL Pro window. Let me see. See if I can do this on the fly. I don't think you can. SQL Pro. I'm adding this on OBS, and I don't know if it's gonna work, but see, I'm gonna duplicate this, right, and then call it SQL Pro, and delete that, and add window capture SQL Pro window. Oh, here we go. Oops. I guess you guys can see that. That's amazing. I'm editing an OBS window on the fly. So, okay. So cool. Now you see that. So I'm going to, I need to add a new connection. So, the only sucky thing is that the scene keeps changing. Hold on, scene collection. Automatic scene switcher, there you go. So I'm going to call this SQL Pro. And for that, I'm going to change to the SQL Pro window. And then close. Okay. It's not working. Oh, I have to press add in here. Hold on. SQL Pro, add. Okay, there you go. Close. Boom, baby. There you go. Okay, so I need to add a new connection window. Let's just duplicate this one. And we're gonna call this ref track. And what was the username and password? Anybody remember? Ref track password. Ref track. Add to favorites. And connect. There you go. So yeah, this allows us to like kind of like do quick and dirty entries and look at the database. So again, I'm going a little bit against what I've been preaching here a little bit, but sometimes, you know, these tools, once you know what you're doing, then it's fine to use them, I guess. So don't be too judgmental, please. Okay, so redirect. So we're gonna insert one record here, and we're gonna call this what should we call this? Let's say from 0.i. So from 0 or what's a good code? Let's see. Let's say it's from 0 git, and that would correspond to my websites from 0.io. Here you have to navigate to the courses and then to the git. So if I type
hi and welcome to Git from Zero.
Sorry.
So what's Git?
What's Git?
Git is a version control system.
This is the old course. So from 0 git will translate or will be translated to going to that URL. And the description is the from 0.io git course page. Okay, so if people click on the redirect of from 0_git, they will be redirected to from 0 essential git course. So I press enter here, and okay, so that should work. So now we want to do the following. We want to, when people hit the this website and enter the code, we're gonna redirect them there. So we already have code there. I think that was working, right? Let's do Python manage py run server. Okay, and then we had localhost 5000 slash what was the code again? From 0 git, right? From 0 git. Oh, we had a PDB. That's correct. So do continue, and it says from 0 git. Perfect. So now we need to look that up on the database, right? So here I'm going to import. I'm going to do a lookup of on the redirect table for that code. So the way I do that is redirect URL. Oops, redirect equals to redirect dot query dot filter by, and then we're gonna say code equals code, and then first, because we only want to get one record. Actually, let me leave that PDB there, and we're gonna say if, well, we can call this redirect because that's not the URL yet. So if redirect, then let's say return redirecting to and the code. Oh no, the URL, right? So redirect dot URL, which is what we called the URL here, right? Otherwise, else return code not found. This is just for like kind of like testing initially. So let's reload that and let's look at the PDB. So let's see, did we get a redirect object? Yes, we did. Perfect. So now if I do continue, then it says redirecting to from zero session get course. Now for us to redirect, we need to import redirect. So I think we would do the following: return redirect redirect URL. So let's comment this out for a second, and if we reload that, redirect object is not callable. Let me see, maybe I'm missing something with the format. Flask redirect. Return redirect. You can put a code there, but it looks good. This is a good practice to have a 302. So if you look at the HTTP code 302, it means it means that it's, I think there's two. It's like move temporarily or moved like completely. But I think also 301 is moved permanently and 302 is found, but it's kind of like temporarily. I don't know. I think 302 makes more sense because we don't want to, we want the browsers to like hit this URL every time. We don't want them to automatically just go over there, so that we can, you know, log this. So so it says redirect object is not callable. Oh. Aha. So that's funny. So we're actually looking at we might have a collision here because redirect we called redirect the table, but it's confusing with this module from Flask, so we might need to rename the table. Oh god. Okay, so let's call this something else. So redirect, what can we call this? Redirect redirect list. That's the best that I can come up with, because redirect table I don't like too much that. So let's roll back and what's going on here? Oh, that's weird. I can't see my output. Hold on, it looks like that terminal was killed. Okay, cool. So cd ref track source bin activate, and now we'll do python manage bydb downgrade. Oh, so it's giving me this error now, so I'm going to take this out. See if that works. Line 4. Oh, it's because now it's redirect list. Okay. Let's call this redirect object. And let's check that out now. Okay, so delete that file. This is like the thing, like it almost never happens, but when it happens, especially if you don't know what's going on, it becomes this like, why is this not working? Like everything looks fine. And I've been there. I've been in some like almost feels like rabbit holes where you don't know why it's not working. Everything you check the syntax twice and 3 times and nothing is working, and it's because you have a module or some table or some model the same name as a Python or Flask or library module name. So that's always tricky. So you just saw it right here. So let's do a migrate here. Migrate and upgrade. So I think I may have lost the content. Yeah. So I'll redirect list. I have to do it again. So code URL was flat from 0 underscore git. The URL was this thing here. And the description was from 0 IO Git course page. Okay, so now we have our table back, and we were gonna do, see if I have it stored in there. I guess not. So let's do the whole thing. Redirect. Redirect. Redirect list. Redirect list. Redirect object. If redirect object. Then return redirect object.url, and then code equals 302. Well, that was the format, right? Code 302. Okay, perfect. So let's save that, and here we're gonna return. We could do a 404 here because it's technically not found, so let's put abort. Okay, so let's give that a try. Let's take out the PDB and try. Wait, from 0 Git, right? So let's try that. Reload. This I can, of course, the managed server is not up and running. Awesome. So we have a redirect working. Woo!
Hi, and welcome to Git.
Hello. So localhost 5000 from 0 Git. So the next thing, and we're almost done, is to, sorry if I stretch a little bit. It's a nice day here, but it's so cold. It's currently, what's the weather? -40 degrees. So in centigrades, that's 4 degrees. But it's windy. It's like, I like cold, but I don't like cold with wind. It's just, it's sucky. So all right, so we have that working. So localhost 5000 from 0 Git. Now we're going to log that. So we want to log that on the, remember that we said on the redirect log, we want to log that. So we're gonna grab a bunch of stuff from the request. So I already know that we're gonna have to have the request object here, and this happens if we find the code. So we're gonna, oh, we didn't try this. So if the code is not found, we should get a 404. So let's say from 0 Flask, we get a 404, which is what we want. Okay, so let's do Git again, but don't press enter. And we're gonna say log the redirect. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna create a new object called redirect log equals redirect log, and then that's going to have we're going to have a an IP, we're going to have a refer, and we're going to have the code and a timestamp. Well, we don't have to pass timestamp because you see how it did it here, so that by default it's daytime UTC now. So I mean, I don't want to like override it. If I need to override it, I would. So I just need those three things, but we need to get those. So the IP, let's see, these are Flask objects. Flask request IP refer. See if we get some. See, get IP address. It's request remote address. So IP equals and the there might be some information here. So request. Yeah, let me look that up somewhere in Google directly. So request, Flask request refer. Looks like it's request refer. Yep. Okay, so let's see if that works. Of course, I think the refer is gonna be maybe empty, or it's gonna be just localhost, because we're not coming from somewhere else and getting into this URL. But this would be useful when, let's say, I'm on a YouTube video, I put this on the description, and then when it hops here and then it redirects, it's getting it from somewhere else. But I don't have like a, I mean, I could maybe put it on the From Zero website, but I know it works, so I'm not gonna deal with that. So let's see if it works. Maybe let's do a PDB just to make sure that everything is kosher. So reload. Okay, redirect IP. So let's see the IP. It's localhost. And then refer. There's no refer. So because I actually, there's no refer because I actually loaded the page directly, so that's gonna be empty. Now, is the model fine if there's no refer? Should be. I don't think we're gonna get an error, but let's see. Next, IP refer code. Oh, I forgot something, but let's see what the we're actually not saving it on the database. So redirect log. So yeah, I have the IP, the refer is none, code, timestamp. Okay. So that worked well. So I'm gonna Control D so that it doesn't do anything, it just stays in there. Perfect. And now we're gonna actually save this on the database. Right. So we're gonna do db.session add redirect log db session.commit, and let's take this out, save that, and let's look at the table here. Redirect log, it has no records, so reload. What? Oh, this wasn't found. Git, okay, redirected, and if I see the database now,
And welcome to Git from Zero.
it's funny to hear myself talking. Okay, so now it's timestamping it, and it works perfectly fine. So I think our work here is done. I'm actually gonna upload this to the From Zero GitHub. So if you want to use it, RefTrack GitHub repo, and can't remember, did we have a Git set up here? Right, we only initialized it, but git config user.name from zero.io. Okay, so git status, right on. RefTrack app, migrations, settings, status. Okay, it looks good. So git add dot git commit m first commit. Awesome. So we have our first commit. Now, well, I'll create the repository there, and I'll put a link on the video description. So that's about it. This was pretty fun. Thanks for watching. And again, next week, next Friday, remember it's at 4 p.m. GMT, still 12 p.m. Eastern. And hope you have a great weekend and a productive week next week. All right. See you guys. Thank you for coming by.